Hi everyone, I'm Shelly from There's No Place Like Home at redheadmom8.wordpress.com. Today I felt the need to talk to you about public education's latest and greatest contribution to our society, and that is the total erasing of critical thinking, aka common sense. You know, one of the biggest phrases that you'll hear in education circles is critical thinking skills, critical thinking skills. So, of course, parents who don't actually look into this believe that this is what their children are being taught in school. But the true fact is that there are no critical thinking skills being taught in school. The entire mantra of the public education system is and always has been teaching children what to think and not teaching them how to think. Their entire focus on kids is, don't worry about thinking for yourselves. We'll think for you. And that is exactly what is happening. You know, this has always been happening throughout history, but I see it really culminating to a head right now because you can see the effects of what it is having on kids today. And especially, I've been thinking about this. Since Common Core was instated, it was instated in either 2009, 2010. And if you actually take a look at the behavior, at the mentality of, say, school students, college students, those who are fresh out of college, it seems almost like they have lost any sort of common sense. It's like there's none left. And if you look at Common Core, it is a values-based curriculum. So it's no longer about teaching children facts, although they do surely like to make kids memorize them all the time. What they want kids to talk about all the time are their feelings, how things make them feel. And what is happening is that all truth is being erased out of society today, and critical thinking skills are going right out the window with it. Because if you think about it, the critical thinking skills that they are supposed to be teaching in school, it does happen, but it happens in abstract ways. They do it in ways, in problems or in situations where they will have the kids say what they would do, but it's always in situations that would never actually happen in real life. When these students do have a chance to actually exercise true critical thinking skills, for example, if they disagree with something that is being presented in a class, if they disagree maybe with an opinion that a teacher has, these kids are punished, they are given lower grades, and they are looked down upon. That is not teaching critical thinking skills. So what is happening is these kids are getting fed the same talking points all throughout their school years. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse to the point where there are people out there who are now saying that incest is okay because it doesn't really hurt anyone. There are others out there who are identifying as animals. And yet there are others, for example, a man who identifies as a 6-year-old little girl. And the kids who are being brought up in this environment are they're so quick to defend it. They are so quick to defend it. But if you notice what is happening is they are only repeating the same things, the same lines that they are being taught by their schools and, yeah, a lot by their college professors. If you actually ask them anything of substance, they cannot defend it. Do you know why? Because there are no critical thinking skills being taught in school anymore. Again, I don't know if there ever was, because school was never meant to educate. It was meant to create a society of obedient workers. And that is exactly what is happening. And you might think to yourself, oh, well, how can you really consider them obedient? Look at all of the college students protesting nowadays over everything. That is exactly what they want. That is exactly what they want. These students are falling right into their hands. And you know what? I hate to say it, but if you look at the students who are protesting over every little thing, over if there are speakers who are coming to their colleges that they don't agree with, or if there are situations that are happening that they don't agree with, they are demonstrating, sometimes violently, because they, again, do not have the skills to argue for what they believe. It's gone. All they are good at is exactly what school trained them to do. regurgitate facts, and to repeat what their teacher or professor told them like good little students. And it's sad. It is truly sad. And you know, I hate to make this a whole left-right paradigm thing, because I truly think that there are those who actually try to make that happen because they want to pit us against each other. So I really don't like to bring that whole scenario up. But if you look at students on the right, they are not protesting every time someone comes, you know, to speak at their schools. They are not throwing these hissy fits every time something happens that they don't agree with. And do you know why that is? Because they have the skills to argue for what they believe in. Because these are the students who are going against the grain. These are the students who did not fall for the lines that they were told in school and in college. So of course, these students, for survival, they had to be able to learn how to defend themselves. They had to pick up those critical thinking skills that were never actually encouraged in school and were, in fact, as I said before, almost completely erased in most people. And I truly think that is the reason why you see one side that is constantly protesting over every little thing they don't agree with, and another side that kind of gets irritated, but you don't see them just throwing these tantrums. And again, it's because you have one group of students, the students who are doing exactly what their professors want them to do. They don't know how to stick up for themselves. They don't have any substance to what they believe in. They are only spewing out facts. They're not thinking for themselves. They have been brainwashed. I will say it. They have been brainwashed. They have fallen for it. So again, you have these other students who have picked up those skills out of necessity because they had to be able to argue, because they didn't have professors backing them up. They didn't have entire curriculums backing up the things that they truly believed in and the things that they thought had the most common sense. So whenever I hear these situations where people talk about schools teaching kids critical thinking skills, it infuriates me, as you can tell, because our society has gotten so bad lately. And yeah, you know, if you've been here before, you know that I lay a lot of that blame at the public education system. And sometimes I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here, because I would have to say that most, if not all, of the people who watch me are already homeschooling or thinking about homeschooling, and they already feel probably very close, at least, to the way that I do. But, you know, I still come out with these videos in the hopes that someone will see them who doesn't get it, who does not understand, who hasn't woken up. So that is what I am asking you to do today. If you have children in the public education system, or if you are homeschooling and are burned out and are thinking about maybe sending your kids back, I really want you to think twice about this. Don't fall for their lines, because I am telling you, it was never about education. It has always been a giant social engineering experiment. They have succeeded, but it's been to the detriment of our society. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, maybe some more of my rants like this, maybe not. I also do talk about homeschooling as well. I would love if you would do that. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave one down below. And if you also would like to, if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page, I do have the link in the description box below. You can see what sorts of rewards I have for my patrons there. And I hope you have a great day. Despite all this, I hope you have a great day.